Hi, Teri here from Stamping Magic. Welcome back to my channel. Today's project is this card. I've used the Garden Grandeur Host stamp set for the images and the Go-To Greetings for the sentiment. The paper is from the 2021 to 23 6-inch in colour designer series paper pack. Let's get started. These are all the measurements you need for all the elements required to create this project. So if you're interested in reproducing it, take a screenshot so you can refer to it later. This is the Garden Grandeur Host stamp set. Now, this Host stamp set is only available to purchase with Host rewards. And you can earn Host rewards by either having a party or by placing a large order. Now you can find all the details about this towards the back of the annual catalogue. Now this is a two-step stamp set, which means there are multiple stamps that make up one image. So you've got outline stamps, then you've got other stamps that colour in. You can use them together if you want to, or you can just use them separately and do your own thing. I'm going to do a bit of both today. I'm just going to use the outlines for the flowers, but for the leaves I'm going to use the two-step method. This is the Go-To Greetings stamp set, and I'm going to use this Happy Birthday sentiment. I'll be stamping on basic white card, and I'm using Memento Tuxedo black ink and Parakeet Party ink. I'm going to start with the Memento ink, and I'm stamping the smaller of the two flowers twice. Then I'm going to stamp the larger flower once. The bud is also stamped once. All the leaves will be stamped with Parakeet Party. I need 2 of the double leaves, 2 of the single, and then for the next image you can either use it as a bud and leaves or just leaves. I'm using it as just as leaves today, and you just need 1 of those. Then I'm going to fill in the colour, still with Parakeet Party, with the second stamp for each image. Now you don't have to be too precise when lining these up, then they're not going to fill the outline completely. The smaller flowers and the bud have been coloured in exactly the same way as you've just seen me do the larger flower. Now I've added dimensionals over the back of the larger flower, and I've just added 1 to each of the smaller flowers and to the bud. The bottom part of the bud will be glued flat. It'll just be the top edge that's raised. And I'm going to do that for the leaves as well. So I've just added a small dimensional onto the tip of each of the leaves. The rest of it will be glued flat. This gives the card some lovely shape and dimension. The sentiment will be stamped using Memento Tuxedo black ink onto a large piece of basic white card. Now this is larger than I actually need because we're going to die cut it. I'm using one of the Deckled rectangle dies, and it's the second size down. I'm placing the die onto the basic white card to give me an idea of where I need to stamp it. Now I need to remember to leave enough room for the black frame to go around the edge of this. So I'm going to ink up my stamp and stamp the sentiment down. Now it doesn't matter too much if it's not in exactly the right place or if it's not straight, because when we die cut it we can make allowances for that. Now mine happened to be quite straight for a change, but if it wasn't, you can adjust the die before die cutting to accommodate. Make sure you leave enough room though for the frame. I'm cutting the frame from basic black card, and I'm going to layer 2 dies onto it and die cut them at the same time. So I'm using the 2nd and 3rd size down on the Deckled rectangle die set. You want to try and position these so there's an even gap all the way round, otherwise your frame could look a bit lopsided. Now if you have trouble making that gap even, just switch one of the dies round and you might have better luck, like I did. Once I'm happy with the gap, I'm going to position these, fix them into position with some low tack tape, and then I'll die cut them. Now as long as you've got the frame round the right way, these will layer up together perfectly, so the edges will align exactly. Add glue to the frame and then position it onto the white sentiment mat. My card base is in basic black, and this is half a standard sheet of card scored in the middle and folded to create a landscape card. For inside the card I have a basic white mat, and I'm going to decorate the bottom of this with a strip of basic black onto which I'm going to layer some of the In Colour Designer Series paper, and this is 2022 to 2024. I have more of the paper for the front of my card, and I'm going to layer this onto the Parakeet Party cardstock. Then I've got my framed sentiment, which I've added dimensionals to the back, and my flower elements. To finish off the card, I'm going to use some of the elegant faceted gems, the clear ones in the pack. I use A4 card as my standard cardstock, so this is how the frame will look on the finished card. If you use 8.5 inch by 11 inch card as your standard, your border around the frame should be equal all the way round. And that's my card complete. Very pretty and quite quick to do, apart from the cutting out, which was all by hand. Here's another look at my original card. The colour used for the paper and for the leaves is soft succulent. The flowers were coloured with fresh freesia. And I used some of our retired holiday rhinestone jewels for the finishing touch. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notifications bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Bye for now.